Hello Cancer, welcome to your reading. It's good to see you. This is a timeless collective reading for anyone with major Cancer placements, or if you were just intuitively guided here, I'm sure there's a message for you as well. I have 2 cards pulled to represent the theme of your reading. I've been sitting with the energy for just a couple of minutes, so I'm ready to go. Let's dive right in. In case you're curious, I am using the Wild Unknown Tarot for you, as well as the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. So I did want to mention I pre-shuffled the deck before I started. And then when I picked it up to actually pull these first 2 cards, I saw the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. And that Wheel of Fortune energy really does feel like an undertone in your life right now, or whatever phase you're moving through. So there could be a lot in your life that is in flux, a lot that is up in the air, many, many unknowns. And the future is always unknown. But sometimes there are certain phases in life we move through where it's like the great reshuffle is happening and all of these energies are kind of in flux at once, or maybe just a particular, sector of your life is in great flux. But, what comes with the Wheel of Fortune is this invitation to trust that whatever is changing, even though it's very uncomfortable or even unsettling, whatever is changing in your favor, because it is the Wheel of Fortune, of course. So it's almost like the universe is kind of in this underlying way. I feel like the universe is setting you up to be able to make a new decision in alignment with your heart that you have not been able to make up to this point. So the 2 main cards now, going to the cards I actually pulled. The theme of your reading here is the Magician with the Son of Cups or the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So there's some kind of activation happening. On one hand, you might be feeling a little bit out of control with this Wheel of Fortune energy, but on the other hand, all of this rearranging that's going on in your life is allowing you to connect more deeply with your powers of manifestation. That's really what the Magician card is all about. Manifestation powers through your direct connection with spirit and your strengthened sense of self. I was just telling Gemini this in the reading I gave for them yesterday. The Fool is number 0, of course, and it represents not just that anything is possible, but that you could be anyone too. It's almost this divine lack of ego or lack of a sense of self. And that can be amazing or terrifying. The Magician, number 1, is this first sort of stamp of your sense of self after the Fool. This first sense of real ego in a beautiful, divine, exalted way. So your sense of self is almost activating, and your sense of self is intrinsically woven into, or I should say, how would I say that? It's like your sense of self in so many ways is defined by your unique connection to spirit. And there's something here you're realizing that you can create that maybe you've never realized you could before. The Magician has all tools at his disposal, right? You have what you need to start channeling into life whatever you want to create. I love how there is a lemniscat, the infinity symbol, over this cheetah's heart. And of course, the Son of Cups is all about leading with your heart. And this kind of sunburst that's happening in the Magician card, I see mirrored here in the cup, in the Knight of Cups. It looks like, a bunch of kind of sun rays coming out there. So there's almost this, I feel like you have a growing belief in yourself. There's a growing belief in your capacity to create in partnership with spirit or in tandem with spirit. When you're really aligned with what your heart wants, it's meant for you. You can create it. There's also great, vulnerability here with the Son of Cups. Leading with your heart is maybe the bravest thing you could possibly do. Because your heart is going to call you to do things that don't make sense. A lot of the times, your heart is going to call you to face your deepest fears, a lot of the times. So it takes a lot of bravery to do this. But this beautiful activation of your sense of self is giving you this kind of oomph to be brave enough to lead with your heart in some way. Let's get a few more tarot cards here. Tell me a little bit more about what Cancer is moving through. I'm just noticing here that the cheetah, I'm pretty sure it's a cheetah, and the Magician card has his paws, or its paws, on the pentacle. Feels like there's an emphasis here on the pentacle, which is, relative to the material world, whether it's your physical health, your physical body, or money, business, a career path. Something like that might be in focus for you. You might be feeling the call in your heart to focus on those things more. Tell me more about what Cancer's going through. Eight of Pentacles. There's more pentacles. Yes, there's a focus on the pentacles here. This is self-mastery. Your heart is calling you to commit to something. Maybe it is something you have been committed to for a while now, and you've been potentially questioning whether or not you want to keep staying committed to it. Or maybe this is something entirely new. Either way, your heart is saying, we want to keep practicing something. We want to stay devoted and committed to something here, because we know that staying committed to this practice or this system, this work path, this habit, right? If we keep practicing it, we're going to get really, 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 really good at it. We're going to master it. And maybe it's like a form of exercise, right? Like if I know that if I do yoga every other day for a year, I'm going to be a different person, or my body will be in a different place at the end of that year. So I know I'm being guided to commit to it. Take it how it resonates. But there's a sense of focusing on longevity here, not just looking for quick fixes, but wanting to weave a web of abundance for yourself. There's also self-focus here. Traditionally in the Eight of Pentacles, it shows a man who's removed himself from the city or the village so that he can focus on his work. You're being guided to focus more on yourself and your own journey here. Justice. Yes. Thank you. I love it. So the Justice card comes right after the Wheel of Fortune, which, like I said, is underlying everything here. So yeah, this is fantastic confirmation. It's also the halfway point in the entire soul cycle from Fool to World. So it's almost like the universe right now is preparing you to hit some kind of midway point where you're going to have the opportunity to choose to commit to something that will over time create abundance. Spiritual abundance, material abundance, whatever it is. And you know you can do it. You know it. Because this power of manifestation is being activated within you. Okay. So this is almost like, this moment here, it almost feels like the divine setup from the universe, kind of like ushering you into this profound choice point. And the halfway point in the full cycle from Fool to World, it is really one of the most powerful moments in the entire soul cycle, because the moment that you make a new decision is the moment that change actually happens. Change doesn't actually truly happen when you're moving through the Wheel of Fortune. Even though it seems like it on the surface, everything is kind of in flux, true change is only sustained when you make a new decision. So it's incredibly powerful. This Justice card moment is coming. Show me, what should I do? Okay, no. Show me a little bit more of Cancer's general energy. More and more and more every day now, you're seeing something in black and white. You're seeing something for the objective truth of what it is. Less and less and less every day now are your emotions clouding your objective sight. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Show me Cancer. Show me a little bit more of Cancer's general energy. Yep, okay. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, this goes back to what I was saying about contemplating the 8 of Pentacles. Do I really want to stay committed to this or not? If I do, what needs to change so that this commitment is still in alignment for me? So, okay, yeah, you are contemplating this 8 of Pentacles. You are reflecting and assessing what your heart is calling you to devote yourself to. You know that it is. You know that it is. You know that you want to weave your own web of abundance, however that resonates for you, whatever that means to you. Is what I've been committed to up to this point still in alignment for me or not? Thinking, lots of processing going on here. You've taken something to a certain point, but either it's no longer for you or something needs to change before you keep going with it. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a little bit of, yeah, the Empress at the bottom of the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. Whatever you've been committed to up to now that you're questioning or reassessing, it's kind of put you in an embodiment of feeling a little bit, I don't know, let down or scarce. The 5 of Pentacles is essentially about scarcity, the experience of lack in some way. Feeling like you have to constantly endure something that you really don't want to be enduring, whether that's, you know, difficulties in your finances, difficulties in your health or your business, feeling unsupported, lack of resources. It's just scarcity and lack, right? So this is part of what is catalyzing you to reflect in the way that you are, because you know something's not right, but you're trying to figure out what is. And with the Empress at the bottom of the deck, it does feel like your divine feminine energy, well, let's just say the aspect of you that is of divine feminine energy, knows that you're meant for more. Like, you know that you're meant for more than the tedium or the trudgery, the grind maybe, that you've been experiencing with this up to this point. Even though technically on one level you've built something up to a point of success with it, there's also just this trudgery that I feel coming along with it. And your divine feminine energy is saying, we're here for vibrancy. We're here for light. We're here for love. We're here for more. We're here for a juicy life, not a stale life. I want to be, going back to the Magician, you know, I want to be in partnership with spirit to such a degree that whatever I create is just so full of life and therefore life-giving. Not only life-giving to the world around me, but to myself. What I'm here to create gives me life, right? That's what you really, really want. So does Cancer need to give this thing up or just make a change with it? It's going to be different for each of you. Should I even ask that question? Spirit's saying no. Okay, you can contemplate that for yourself. Let's get some oracle cards here. Tell me a little bit more about what Cancer's going through. I'm hearing what you're processing and eliminating. Process and eliminating. Tell me more about what Cancer's going through. Seeing the ocean. Processing your own, processing your own emotional fluctuations or moods relative to something so that you can kind of rise above them into this more Justice card energy, right? Alchemizing your emotions, processing your emotions so that you don't feel at the whims of your emotions. And you can rise into this more objective frame of mind. Gratitude, 35, which reduces to 8. We've got another 8 here. Well, this energy of gratitude is certainly the thing that will catalyze you out of the scarcity or lack experience of the Five of Pentacles into Empress energy. You know, your inner divine feminine or your Empress energy, who is so connected and supported. She's in a state of gratitude all the time. That doesn't mean there's not hard days and bad things don't happen. But I'm even seeing the connection here between the kind of pink hues of the tree and the Empress with the pink of this gratitude card. Tell me a little bit more. One of my favorite things to do, this is just an exercise I'm offering you. I enjoy connecting in with how I feel. Just do like a body scan. Do a body scan from head to toe. Notice how you're feeling physically and emotionally. And then make a list of at least 10 things that you're truly grateful for. Not just kind of sort of grateful for, but like really grateful for. And then rescan your body and notice how it's changed. It can change very, very quickly. The practice of gratitude, the practice of appreciation changes your frequency. So what are you grateful for? And from this space of gratitude and appreciation and receptivity and creativity, what's the truth of you? With all of this, these, number 8s here, it's making me think of the Strength card, which is about being able to productively address any fears as they arise and move into a state of positivity instead of being overcome by fear. Time, number 41. Well, this is speaking to the Wheel of Fortune energy. Like there is an element of divine timing here, I would say. I don't want to say you have to wait for anything because you technically don't, but it is in your highest and best interests to let something move. I'm hearing move of its own accord at this specific time. You will organically shift from the Wheel of Fortune into the Justice card. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. These are universal energies that are unfolding far beyond our control. This is an organic cycle that you're moving through, so you don't have to rush the process of trying to figure out what to change, what to let go of, what you really want to commit to, what needs tweaking, right? It's good to be contemplating these things. It's essential. But if there's any part of you that feels like, oh my gosh, I need to figure this out like today or everything is gonna fail, you'll align with the choice that is right for you when the wheel completes its motion. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So what's the, should we go into the challenge? Okay, yeah. What are the energies challenging Cancer? What energy is challenging Cancer right now? The moon. Fear. Illusion. Facing the unknown. Freaking out. This is interesting because it's almost like the shadow aspect of this beautiful feminine energy coming through the Empress. Like when you really tap into your feminine energy, you're at peace with the unknown. You are not attached to any particular outcome. But in its shadow state, this is fear of the unknown rather than embracing the unknown. Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this is like fighting, forcing, fear. Let me sit with this for one more second. There's also, I feel, maybe a questioning in you whether or not you can really trust your intuition. It's easy to say that we do, but in moments like this, when we're facing the unknown and things are in flux, it maybe to some extent you do feel pressure, even if it's just internalized pressure. I don't know, there can be a fear that we didn't even know we had, a fear that arises that says, is my intuition real? Or can I really trust it if it is real? How do I know the difference between what my intuition is telling me and just what I'm avoiding? How do I know the difference between intuitive calling and truth versus fear? And there could be this reactivity coming up in response to that fear, a reaction to try and fight to almost to like maintain your position. I feel like all of these energies in the Seven of Wands coming at you, they're part of maybe the rearranging in the Wheel of Fortune. And you're trying to maintain some sense of stability or control amidst the flux. But the truth is, the flux is happening for you. So what's the advice? Well, definitely trust your intuition. How do you trust your intuition? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's just say that really quickly. How do you trust your intuition? Well, recognize that your emotions are constantly in flux. That's part of why I guess I was seeing the ocean. Emotions and moods, they change all the time. They change all the time. So your intuition, your intuitive knowing, it's not just a preference. It's not just a personal preference. It is not something that changes. It's this steady, constant little voice, this nagging little gut feeling or knowing that is completely independent of mood swings or emotional fluctuations. And in that sense, ironically enough, intuitive knowing for me is very often tied to, this objectivity that comes with the Justice card or even the Suit of Swords. When you're clear of emotional turmoil, that's when you can access your intuition. So if you're going through, this big wave of emotion, I would say don't expect yourself to be able to determine intuition from fear, etc. Like, get grounded, get clear, process out the emotions, journal, talk to somebody first. And when you're more clear and grounded, that's when you could be more honest with yourself about what your gut is really saying. What's the advice? I know that can be very difficult to do. It's also part of why Spirit is saying do not rush anything. The Hermit. Exactly. Exactly. And the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yep. This is tied to that Five of Pentacles. There is an emotional pattern within you that is playing out to create the Five of Pentacles experience, this scarcity, lack kind of abundance. You're at this point where you are now ready to go within through the Hermit card, do that introspective work, being honest with yourself, right? And you're ready to recognize this emotional pattern within you that has fed into the trudgery, the sense of lack or scarcity, right? And it's a pattern that you are ready to change. So the invitation here is for you to not only recognize this internal emotional pattern, but to proactively start to release it, change it, or walk away from it. Okay. Let's get, well, should I go into what the pattern is? Maybe I'll just pull one card on what is the pattern. I mean, it could just be, not trusting your intuition, questioning your intuition. Could be a lot of different things. Three of Wands. Mother of Cups. It almost feels like an emotional pattern of two things. Constricting your intuitive knowing, constricting it or not allowing it to be somehow as expansive as it wants to be. Like with this Mother of Cups here, this is obviously intuition and psychic knowing, which within you is profound. I feel like, you are in your exalted state. Maybe your feminine Empress energy is the Mother of Cups. And your intuition has been guiding you throughout your life. Your intuition has guided you to choose something bigger and more expansive for yourself. But maybe you've put limits or restrictions on what's possible for you, or what that could really mean or look like. I'm just seeing the three sticks here around this beautiful portal of light, which I think is your connection to spirit, your intuitive knowing. It's like you've almost been afraid maybe of what your intuition has told you. This is part of the pattern that wants to change. Take it if it resonates. Let's get some journal prompts for you from my journal prompt deck, and then we'll get a closing message. Journal prompt for Cancer. Hesitation to take action on what your intuition knows to be true. How would you feel if you already had what you wanted? What might happen if you practice feeling that way now? Gratitude. All the way back to the gratitude card. Yep. What are you afraid to admit to yourself? What are you afraid to admit your intuition is telling you? Oh, let's get one more here. In what ways are you already who you want to be? Beautiful. So answer those questions for yourself. See where they take you. Let's go ahead and get a closing message from the Earth and Bone Oracle by Syrian Shadow. Those journal prompts will be in the description box along with a few others, so be sure to check them out. They'll help you to process all of this and enter into that Hermit card energy. Deep introspection. Closing message for Cancer. Yep. Oh my gosh. Number 42, Meadow. More pink, so maybe working with the color pink. If you have resistance to the color pink, that might be an interesting thing to look into. But working with the color pink, pink crystals maybe, wearing pink clothing. Okay, number 42, Meadow. Success, blessings, and positivity. And I know off the top of my head that this talks about practicing gratitude, because I've pulled it for myself. Okay. Your spirit guides are encouraging you to be grateful and to relax. Feminine energy. They love the energy of pure positivity generated by appreciation. They want to witness your heart overflowing with joy. You obtain a tremendous amount of power and influence over your reality once you let go of moments in which you feel disempowered, embarrassed, or vulnerable. That's the Five of Pentacles. Begin by appreciating more, and a habit of gratitude will imprint on your mind more frequently, even if you aren't emotionally attached to a positive mood or the gratitude isn't entirely genuine. Practice gratitude even if you're having a really bad day or your mood is like tanking. Radiate your light with appreciation and attract all the wonderful things meant for you. You are deserving and on the verge of completion. The halfway point in the cycle is kind of like a completion, the Justice card. Reverence and thankfulness can help. Don't take yourself too seriously. By learning to not take everything so seriously, you learn to live for yourself. When you surrender, you don't lose your lighter power. Rather, you elevate your vibration and continue to shine brightly in alignment with spirit. During difficult times, it is extremely important to remember or discover reasons to be grateful. What experiences or activities can you come up with to help you appreciate yourself more? Try positive affirmations and compliment yourself. Affirmation: I radiate love and positive energy wherever I go. My life is full of joy and gratitude. All right, Cancer. Thank you for letting me read for you. I hope this was helpful or at least thought-provoking. Leave any questions or comments down below. I would love to hear from you. Again, my journal prompts and all the links will be in the description box. I'll see you again soon. Bye.